Welcome back, Stephen Miller. The 19 Republicans in the Senate greased the skids for what's coming next, which is anywhere from a $3.5 to $5.5 trillion monstrosity that includes every radical Marxist agenda item imaginable. And among them, massive amnesty for up to 13 million or so people. What does that mean for the American people?
So this is the most extreme, frankly insane proposal, I would argue, in all of modern history. During the worst, most devastating border crisis that our nation, perhaps any nation, has ever seen. During a pandemic, they are proposing to effectively eliminate the legislative filibuster by using an arcane budget process to enact a citizenship bill, to enact amnesty for this nation's illegal alien population. What that will mean is, first, there will be a run on the border that makes even today's apocalyptic conditions look tame by comparison. Secondly, every single illegal alien who is given citizenship through the power of chain migration will be able to bring in their entire extended families and their extended families and their extended families after them to the 20th power. And so what it means is that it's not just whatever number you want to use, the illegal immigrant population here today, but an unlimited chain of relatives all across the world. So we will have effectively created a new nation comprised of illegal aliens from a population standpoint. In other words, the numbers will be so large, tens of millions, that will be able to come into the country. It will be like adding an entire large country into our country, and it will be done buried within this $5 trillion budget bill that they're hoping to pass on a pure party line vote, 50-50, with the vice president breaking the tie. This is real. This is dangerous. This is happening as we speak. People need to wake up.
It's an amazing thing to see how little concern there is among Republicans on Capitol Hill on the Senate side. Of course, we have a corrupt media thinks this is all swell. It's just shocking to me how little discussion there is about this right now. And it's because they put these things in these massive bills, they pretend that they're budget bills, and they're going to have an enormous effect on the American people. I just want the American people to understand everything I've written in American Marxism is in this bill. Whether it is no sovereignty. And remember what Gallup said. Gallup said 42 million people south of the border. And that's just south of the border. Forget about the rest of the world. Said if they could, they'd come to the United States. What Biden is saying is come to the United States. What the Democrats are saying is come to the United States. But all the rest of it, this massive degrowth movement that they dress up as climate change and a Green New Deal, the economics of that, how that's going to impoverish so many Americans, and the war on success, the destruction of the voting system, to make it so only one party can ever win, blowing out the Republican state legislatures so they have no say, on and on. Stephen Miller, you study history. This is probably the most diabolical presidency and diabolical Democrat Party probably since slavery, don't you think?
Joe Biden is the vehicle, the vessel that American Marxists have been waiting for their entire lives to advance their radical program. And what they are doing is they're putting it all into one bill. Everything you just listed off, from the equity agenda to the destruction of voting rights to the climate agenda to, of course, the open borders agenda. And they reason that if we did this in 5 or 6 bills, we would get crushed by the sheer weight of the exercise. But they think if we do it all at once in one giant bill, maybe we can get away with it. Well, ultimately, it's up to all of us. It's up to everyone watching this program, and it's up to all the American people to say to their senators, no, do not pass this bill, do not destroy our country, do not take away our treasured American way of life.
And the focus, the thin reed we have between tyranny and liberty here, the focus has to be on Manchin of West Virginia and Sinema of Arizona. Every other single Democrat senator is marching right behind Chuck Schumer and the American Marxists. These two have been posers to moderation. They've been posers to the middle. And now every American in this country needs to contact their offices and make it abundantly clear that they expect them to stand up to this. But it also shows one other thing, Stephen Miller. We're always one election away from tyranny. Because if the Democrats ever take 51, 52, 53 seats, they will ram through whatever they have to. They don't play within the boundaries of the Constitution. They play outside the boundaries, do they not?
They play as far outside the boundaries as they need to. Part of being a progressive is believing that the rules don't exist. They're whatever you need them to be to serve your agenda at the moment. I'll just close by making this point. Change happens slowly until it happens all at once. We've all been witnessing for generations the transformation of our country, economically, socially, culturally, and otherwise. But now is the all-at-once phase. This is the effort to finish the job for the Marxists by passing one bill to create permanent power for their agenda, their vision, and their party. That's how serious this is. And I had one name to your list, which is Mark Kelly, the Arizona senator who is in cycle, who has not yet said where he stands, and he needs to be told by his voters, do not support this.
And should the Democrats succeed in their next step that will take the next several months, we will have less freedom than we've ever had.